so here we are. I've got my Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Special Edition here. We've got this as well, which was included with this, but they shipped separately due to logistic issues. And I've been wanting to make a soft-spoken video like this for a while. The very first video on my channel was actually a soft-spoken, me opening cards. Oh, listen to that. That's such like a little micro sound. How does that get picked up? Oh man, that's nice. Sorry. I will try to not scream. I'm typically quite a loud speaker. If you watch any of my videos, you would know that. Now I'm going to see, with the angle I'm sitting at, how I can open this, and we'll kind of flip through this. There's an art book in here you'll see, and I'm going to flip through the pages of that and kind of use this as an excuse to just look at that art book, because I haven't actually looked at it yet. I believe it's still in the plastic, so we'll start kind of simple here. Got the actual game case. The game is not in the game case. You will see where it is in a bit. On the back, we've got some information. For me to see it, I do have to tilt it toward me. I apologize. It says, "Live to fight, fight to live. Two countries locked in eternal battle. But whom does their fighting serve? Solve the riddle and save the future." Then on the back, we've also got a picture of kind of like an Armu, Quarmu animal. If you know what those are from those games, go watch my Xenoblade Chronicles 3 playthrough if you want to know. And I think you can hear that my air just kicked on, and that's ambiance. You guys enjoy it. I love an Armu. I love a Quarmu. Interlinked, adapt. That's enough for that, though. This is really what I'm quite interested to go through and actually look at. And I've already opened this before. I've had this for almost a year now, but never really given it the time it deserves. Also, I'm struggling to keep my breath because I don't want to breathe too loud because this mic is picking up absolutely everything. So if you do hear me breathe, try to be nice, okay? Steel case for the game. And real quick before I kind of set this aside, that's such a fun noise. I don't really watch a lot of ASMR. Or like soundy videos like this, so hearing all these micro noises and wondering how the fuck they get picked up when they're so small is kind of like wild to me. So inside of this steel case, which has like Noah, Mio, Lance, Senna, Uni, and Tyon, if you don't know them, again, go watch my playthrough. Fun times over there. It's quite the long playthrough, so fucking buckle up. We've got like the symbol that shows their age here. Ouroboros forms. And then there's the actual game card. I keep it in the steel case, or steel book I believe it's called, because right here, I don't know if you can see, I can't imagine you can, but it does have like a little bit of like a matte etching engraving saying Steelbook R, as if so as to indicate that it's a restricted property or something. I'm not a copyright lawyer, but that's fun. I didn't realize that that was a branded thing. Cartridges, the Switch cartridges make like a bit of like a jingling noise. What do they hold inside of them? Also, not to be like boomery and be like, how do they get everything on the computer? But I do like, it is a bit crazy that the game just is up on this little bitch, you know? And the size of this game, this little bitch could hold this game at least twice, if not more, so. And then if it doesn't show, and if you don't know, a steelbook is obviously I don't actually know if it's steel. We might be being lied to, but it is definitely a metal. Here, I can't see what my camera is seeing, so I don't know what you guys see, but it says made in Denmark. Tuck that back in there. Put that, I don't want to put that on the box. And I don't want to add weight to the box, potentially warping it. Oh, that crinkling. What if I played you like a little drum solo with my fingers? Would that be fun? Now we've got this. This is actually bothering me. You've been banished to the other side of the desk. Do you guys like all the banging noises, or are they bad noises? All noises are hopefully micro noises, but some are bad, some are good. Comment down below what noises you think are bad noises. These are good noises. I like these. I really like those noises, actually. So I've got to peel this off in a way that isn't too sonically violent. So wish me luck, and wish yourself luck, because you're going to have to listen to it. Got the actual art book, Xenoblade Chronicles 3. We've got all the Ouroboros forms, which are nice to see. There's 6 of them. I don't only remember there being 3, so this doesn't make sense to me. No, because each form had like a, depending on who was controlling the, because an Ouroboros form in this game, you guys, because it is like random fucking proprietary knowledge, I guess, is 2 of the characters that have like some deep friendship bond, power of friendship kind of shit going on here, you guys. They link, they fuse together, so they're both in here, but depending on who is more actively controlling the form, depends on which kind of form of it, and not to, sit upon the binary, but there seem to be like a male and a female for each one. The male one's quite booped up in this one. I don't know how well you guys can see this, but he's quite booped up. He's quite booped up. I think he looks quite nice. I love everybody. I especially love men. Not to get political. And booped up men, really God's gift. So we will flip through every page of this. Whether or not I actually have a comment on every page, we'll see. Not speaking's kind of nice. Also, the way I'm sitting, I can't read it all that well, but over here we have, what does it say? I'm trying not to get myself on camera because that look bad. We have like a long message that I'm actually quite excited to read from Tetsuya Takahashi, the executive director of this game. A foreword, they say. A foreword/preface. And then we've got the 6 main characters from the game. So we've got Lance, if you guys can see him. We've got Uni, Noah, Mio, Senna, and Tyon. If you care to follow along, memorize those, because I'm not explaining them to you guys again. I'm tired of explaining shit to you. No, I'm just kidding, but I'm not going to explain too much because I don't think anybody cares too much. Because anybody that cares would play the game and know Noah now. as you can see, let me stand up and look at what my camera's seeing. 1 second. Oh, you can see this. You can very much see this. Things are going great over here. So, as you can see, Noah is quite the pretty boy. Worth drawing, worth creating, worth coming over, really. If I, not to get is come political yet. Depends on if you use it for IVF or not, huh? So, we're not going to go into that, though. Some nice drawings of Noah, just kind of showing you every side of him. Expressions, quite expressive. These are really nice. In this one, he looks like Serenade from Mega Man Battle Network. If you don't know who that is, fucking hold tight, because I have a Mega Man Battle Network book I'm probably gonna, now that I've got a little bit of a setup over here, do a little soft-spoken video for, because I love to just create videos that nobody watches. It's kind of my favorite thing to do. Some more of Noah. I'll just kind of tap around if you guys want to look at that. Oh, what is... I am not ever trying to make everything. I'm gonna say the word you guys fucking don't call meatball Ron, but I'm never trying to be gay or make everything. I'm always trying to be gay, because guess what? But I'm never trying to make everything gay. Especially not like the kink scene of gay, because I think it's kind of overplayed and it maybe paints a controversial picture. But this, as somebody not so familiar with tactical gear and armor, just looks like kink gear to me, and I apologize. Is kink gear appropriated tactical gear? Or the other way around? These are some fucking crispy pages, dude. Also, there's like metallic on them, which is like really pretty. They really fucking spent some money to print this, which, let me just say, if you guys don't know, the pre-orders for these special edition Xenoblade 3 things, I wouldn't say they're a mess, because I'm an optimist, but they were something. I had to fight tooth and nail to get this last year. I didn't buy this like aftermarket. I didn't get scalped. My scalp is still firmly attached to my head. I bought this from Nintendo directly, won the lottery, fought tooth and nail for this. So if you guys don't love it, I'm gonna be really fucking hurt. Here's an Ouroboros form. I'm not a mech Gundam-y kind of person, and I feel like these designs fall kind of closer to that realm of style than the regular characters. So these never, as much as I appreciate the boobage, and I do think they are quite cool, I don't have as much to say on them as I do about the people. Quite slender though, isn't it? Slender and booped out. You go no Ouroboros. Oh wow, weapons. So, is that the Sword of the Seven? So we've got like some concept art, it looks like, of the sword before it was finalized. We've got more of the Ouroboros. Now on to Mio, which, let me make up for the gayness from earlier. Mio is quite blatantly a love interest for Noah. So there's a little bit of straightness for you. Straight pride minute. You guys get a minute. And here it is. Again, kind of similar setup, and I'm sure we'll see this going forward as well, to Noah's initial page of all sides, which the left and the right side really aren't all too different, other than like the sleeve. Also, where's her other arm? This is curious and expressive. Oh, that one's really cute. That one, a little bit stressed out. And she looks like, and maybe she'll be in this book, Queen Nia. And I love to see it because they've got these like teeth. She's got these cat ears. I'm not an animal ear or tail on humans kind of person, but you know what? Mio's quite the cute little lass, yeah? Also, what eye color is that? It's like yellow, green, gray. I don't know, it's nice. It's like a faded mushroom is what I would call that. Let you guys kind of take this one in on your own. was gonna say, where's her arm, but it's over here, isn't it? I can't comment on every page as much as I have been. This will take forever, so. More Ouroboros form, though. Uni, now she is an absolute fucking firework, this Uni. Again, I will stop saying it, but go watch my Xenoblade 3 playthrough. It's one of my, like, good playthroughs, because not all of them are good. And you know what? Not every video in that playthrough is good either. So, be on the fucking lookout for bad videos from me. Oh, I like that yellow. It's always underneath this jacket, like you see here, and... Oh, you know what? No, she just doesn't wear it. She's got green. I'm quite fond of this yellow. Also, her as a child, I do not remember seeing much of, because we do see all of them at children at a few points in the story. Uni also to me feels like she in the game never got to shine too much. She got little moments, but I don't know, I feel like she didn't get as much attention as some other people. Just the way the coochie crumbles though, I suppose. Her Ouroboros form is quite cool. It's a bit bug-like, but I like that about it. Tyon. Oh, Tyon. So, Tyon is quite cute. Look at this man. I have an innate distaste, distrust, dislike for characters with glasses and people in general, if I'm going to be hateful. And I'm a blind bitch, to be fair, so, like, maybe it's the self-hate. It's not. I love me. And I have a distaste for characters with way too thick of hair as well, by default. I'm still obsessed with this noise, sorry. And so him and I had a rough start, and he's like a little know-it-all. His personality like matches how he looks, if that makes sense to you. And if it doesn't, then you're just not in the know, and that's on you. You don't have to be in the know to be valuable, but it is valuable to be in the know, if I do say so myself. But so we had quite the journey in front of us, but I did learn to love him. I do find him quite endearing, and they did a good job at making somebody very hateable pretty likable. Good job, Monolith Soft, who makes these games. More. Ooh. I love that his glasses get their own little moment there. Also, his eyes are pretty too. They're like, what would I call that? Oh, did you hear my hand be stuck to that? Ew. I don't know what I would call his eyes, and I'm not going to stretch to find out what I'd call them. I would call them Mud Apocalypse. It's quite emotive as well. Which one's my favorite? I think that's my favorite, but this is a close one. But I think it's just because I really like the neck and the clavicle lines. And then we've just got him regular. He has these little... What are they called? Does it say in the book here? It does not. He has these little origami things that he controls, kind of swarms of, and they're never explained too much, and they actually come quite in handy as like plot saviors. Like, they really seem like they could just do anything, which when writing the story became very convenient. But I like here, if you can see, they've got these little faces. They're like frowning. Let me smile. No, not smile, I'm so sorry. Frowning and smiling, but let me bring it up to you a bit more. Can you guys see them? I think they're very cute. I'm also at a lot of points in this recording a bit further away from the mic than I could be. So if you hear echoes and reflections, like, again, that's ambiance. If you want like high quality, no reflections, fucking studio ASMR, there's plenty of it. How much garbage quality, heartfelt, faggot, can I say that slur? Is that not peaceful for you guys? Gay coded, there's probably a lot of gay coded shit ASMR, so I'm probably not that special. Why is the tie-on Ouroboros bulging in all the right places? I'm not mad about it, I'm just curious. I've been curious about bulging since I was like 11 though, so it's nothing too, that's really pretty. Nothing too new. Oh, I didn't, you know what? I put a solid probably 100 hours into this game just about. I did not, and I'm not done with it, but I never noticed that during the Ouroboros form that his little, I wish I remembered what they were called, that they changed a bit as well. They're really, really even more cool looking, and they've got these like, oh, can I swear? Yeah, I can swear. These fucking Yakuza tattoos on them. It's pretty fun. Lands, look. I hate to be generic. I'm such a fucking contrarian. I love to go against. I love to go against, like, expectation, almost to the point of flaw. But I think we all agree, and I think it's quite a generic statement to say Lance is hot. And there's no if, like, there's no way around it. He's hot and he's just a good guy. Earnest, just means the best. He doesn't always do the best, but he means the best, and there he is. I like his just loose jacket as like a fashion item here. That's fun. And then you don't see these green spots on this version of it, which is interesting. I mean, look at this man. These are good. Also, the design on the eyes with the lines and just like the skin tones. Let me show you kind of like the gold on his face in case you can't see it very well. Every time you hear me hit that fucking this over here. There's one over here as well. Look at little child lens. It's got like a bit of a faux hawk going on. It's very cute. His Ouroboros form. It's got a much smaller, sluttier waist than I'd expect for such like a square, bulky man. So it's cool that in his dreams he's a little slutty waisted Libra lens, if you would. Senna. When I was playing the game, because in these games, they all the characters have these like different. Any place that the Queen of England before her passing fucking would spit on the ground. Any place where she colonized the people. All those places, like regional accents were in the game, is quite interesting to hear. And I remember being like, why does Senna sound so weird in this world? And it took me a good minute before I realized, oh, she sounds weird because she just has like an American accent, which if you guys know me, can hear me, I'm an American. Grew up with Americans mostly. So I was like, wait, she's familiar. But it was so out of place in that world that I didn't recognize that, like, what made it out of place was its familiarity, if that makes sense. But yes, Senna was also a bit of a fireball, and in a very different way than Uni. Senna was a lot more sensitive, a lot more uncertain in herself at a lot of times. Some of these, the way that the drawings kind of overlap, it looks like she has two pigtails almost, and I quite like that look. She also looks quite short and squat in these, which, to be fair, she kind of was. She also has kind of mushroom-colored eyes to me. You can't look at me and tell me that that's not a slay. Now let me make sure my video's still recording. It is. Sorry about all the extraneous noises, but again, ambiance. Okay, so as well as the main 6 that we just saw, because a lot of these after here look like they're going to be kind of large characters, but they weren't like, they're a bit extraneous. They were a bit auxiliary, if you would. And but these 2 are not that at all. These 2 are as central and focused and placed as high on the billing as anybody else in this story, except for, I'll be honest with you, Noah and Mio definitely got a bit more like, a little bit more time to shine than everybody else. But like, you know, you gotta have stars. And these 2 are very cute, and they also seem to have a bit of a romance going on. I think the first time I cried during my playthrough, or got really close to crying, was the scene with Manana, because they were all kind of going through it, and Noah, main character who I'm madly in love with, wouldn't eat, and she's quite the chef, this Manana. Not only is she quite good at it, she has a passion for it. She loves to do it. And she was making him food, and he wouldn't eat it, and it broke her heart, and she was crying, and then Riku would like look at her and care about her and be quite upset by her being upset. It was a lot to do with for me, because I love these silly little fluffy guys. They're called Nopon. And then we've got, this is like a test for me if I can remember people's names. Oh, it says right here, Xeon. This is Xeon. He's also a character that kind of grew on me, and I do have to start commenting less because this will be a really long video. Ethel, look. Straight people, hey. Focus again. I have something to say that's kind of straight-pilled, what do you call it? Heterocentric. This is Ethel, boobs a lot. Ethel, you meet her quite early on in the game, and because this game, I'm gonna be honest, the women are not too sexualized. Xenoblade 2, oh boy, everybody was related to Mrs. Boobs a lot in that game. Ethel, you meet her quite early, and she has all these boobs, and they do jiggle, you know. Do it jiggle? The answer is yes. And they were quite stand out, I hate to say, but she's quite this solid character. And then these two are like obsessed with fighting. They love the art of the fight, and they're also like in warring nations, and they go against each other. They're like, oh, he's so perfect. Quite admirable, respectable fighters, and you could tell that they needed to fuck so bad, so they ended up killing each other at one point, which is, spoiler, but like, come on, grow up. It was kind of hot. But he's quite a good guy. I really like these like emotive portraits. The smiling one for him really gets me, and that one for her is quite like maniacal in a good way. Yo, I know I keep saying I should comment less, but I love all these characters so much. This is Monica, which you can see her. Let her speak for herself. She has an Australian accent. I hate your. Hey guys, I'm about to be hateful again. I'm sorry. Not a fan of Europe. So all the European accents, while charming and fun, I'm like, I don't care. You know what I mean? Australian people are just. I can't explain it, but Australian people are just American people letting loose, you know? So when I hear an Australian, it's quite exciting. So she had an Australian accent, and so too did her daughter. Quite a weird, like washed out, like what would you call it? Like whitewashed Australian accent, but like whitewashed is the wrong word. Just like gentrified, like it's like an approachable, appealing. It went through like a life straw, if that makes sense. All the accents in this game are kind of like they went through a life straw to become a bit more palatable, and that's fine. That's life. But yeah, then her daughter Gondor, who's named after like her distant relative who we learn about in the DLC, who will not be in this book because this book doesn't cover the DLC. also Monica's daughter and Gondor's sister. She ended up playing an oppositional role, whereas these two were not just allies, but really great, really amazing, large, huge allies. Really the driving force between of what ended up becoming our mission. And she ended up going somewhere else because holding different beliefs, different frustrations with this fucked up world they all lived in. She ended up killing herself in front of all of us so as to be reborn. And it was a really shocking fucking scene. And then we have Izzard, who I don't have much to say about. Did not spend a lot of time with him. He's beautiful, he's smart, that's really, I love that drawing, wow. I'm obsessed with these. I've always been obsessed with like really emotive line sketches. Because it's quite a common thing to draw for characters, and they exist in a lot of like other like art books and stuff, and I've always been like a big fan, but I have nothing. He's quite a lovely guy, deserves more attention than I gave him, but he didn't get much from me. Miyabi. Now this is where it starts getting easy for me not to talk about them. This is Miyabi. I didn't spend no time with her. Good girl. Like a good person, good girl. So I feel like good girl, that phrase has become weird with culture, hasn't it? Valdi, I could talk forever about Valdi though. Quite the opposite of Miyabi in that sense. He's good with robots. He's young. He's excited. He's a good kid. Means well. A bit reckless. I really fucking love Valdi. That's my absolute fucking son. And he bonded really well with Lance, who looks quite similar. I'm not gonna flip back to Lance, but yeah, it will make a good noise. Where the fuck is Lance? Him, if you'll remember him. They bonded really well, and they look quite similar, and there's like a big brother, little brother dynamic, and I found it quite charming. Yeah, more people I didn't know about. This is Teach, what's his real name? It does not say, no, Teach, we just call him Teach, in Alexandria. Good people. Juniper, who's quite interesting. I love her spirit, and that's really all I have to say about that. Didn't spend a lot of time. Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, who the fuck is... Wait a minute. This is somebody I never met. I did beat the game. I didn't do everything yet. Ooh, I'm getting ahead of myself, but oh boy. I never met her. She looks quite... I like her hairstyle. It's giving child on the top. Cave woman, cave baby on the bottom. Gray. He's from the city. One of the few people from the city. Love him. Never seen his face before, so this was quite, not jarring, but like engaging, like visually interesting to see right now. I always knew he was hot. He just looks hot, and look at that. He's hot. Who would have guessed? Fun boot. Everybody's dad's got a boot like that. Maybe they don't. I was gonna say everybody's dad has a boot like this, but maybe just mine. My dad was a Marine, so. Didn't spend a lot of time with her. Never met this one either. Showing a lot of leg. But hey, why shouldn't she? Van Damme. Guernica Van Damme. He is the husband of Monica, if you'll remember. Monica had the two daughters, the one who shot herself. He died very early on in the game, but he gave us a lot. He really kickstarted the events. Aggie and Augie, they are kind of the right and left, I suppose, handmen for... What is her name? contour. I like the red on his face. I like that they are quite corresponding, and same with the white pieces in their hair. Really well designed, I think. No, not that I'm so. Who the fuck is that beautiful pair? Bulliers. This is Bullier. Oh boy. First of all, come on. That's perfection right there, that line drawing. This right here, though, before we get fully over to Bullier's Mamba. That's kind of cute. Mamba looks like he'd be an android, doesn't he? He's not. He's just a man. He's a man who they put him in your party really early on in the game. And when they do that, you realize you can like adjust your party members and change out their attacks and do all these things. And the whole time you're wondering, why can't I change Mwamba's attacks? Why can't I give Mwamba accessories? And if you have any sort of like a foreshadowing reading ability, you start to think, they're not going to kill this man in front of my eyes, are they? Hey, spoiler alert, they killed this man in front of your eyes, basically twice. And then we have Bullierus. He was the right-hand man to Ethel Poopsalot. And I love him. Nothing else to say. This chubby little boy, Yorin, and that's not me being body negative or anything. Chubby is chubby. It's not inherently negative. Quite a chubby little meatball boy. Great kid. Complex story. Again, watch the playthrough. I can't explain everything in depth to you. Here's what we're going to do now that things aren't characters I'm so attached to. I'm going to focus more on these little micro noises and seeing what noises I can get out of this, and focus less on speaking for a bit, okay? Great guy. He reminds me of Mr. Krabs. This is a very bad guy. I don't think there's a single person in the game that I want to have sex with more than him. Tune out now if you're not like an absolute depraved person. I haven't done meth in about a year now. I would like to get very high on meth with this man. He's quite twisted. This is Zed. His name is just the letter Z, but because they're all regionally accented as like white people, but like not American white people accents, they call him Zed. Beautiful, wise. I think in some fucked up way he's a good guy, but he is the main antagonist of the game. Or he's behind the main antagonizing party of the game. You don't actually see him himself at the forefront very often. His hair looks a bit lilac here. And all of these little forms you're seeing here are consuls. They're just different leaders of different areas of the world, but they're all aligned under Zed to keep the flow of the world in place. These people are, I guess, NPCs from the game. I do see Bullierus though, and he looks as beautiful as ever. I like these goggles. Little Nopon guy. He's quite interesting. I don't remember him. Whoa. More Nopon. If you want to, hey guys, to make up for being gay, we're going to go, guess what? We're going to do something anti-gay. Well, anti-LGBTQIA. That's a fun rhyme. Pink one, girl. Blue one, boy. I will not be taking questions. Beautiful. It's like a Greek. It's giving Greek androgyny. And it's giving, let me kiss your shoulder blades. Like a proper beanie, like just straight up a beanie. Or no pawn. Plenty of them, and look at these like ornate bags that they're carrying. This one's got a wrench. A lot of no pawn do work on robots. They seem to have quite the knack for machinery like that. I like that one's little hat. He looks so cute. I'm gonna bring this one up to you. It's so cute. Right? Enemies. Oh boy. I don't remember a lot of the enemies, but I know I hate the Turkin. We're gonna get through these ones quick. I have nothing to say about these bitches. A lot of, here's what I'll say kind of generally. The enemies in this game are beautiful and really cool, and the way that they're placed within the regions that they're placed within, and the way that they alter like certain little parts of these things based on region. Like some of these things exist in multiple regions, but maybe in a different color scheme, but maybe without fins or without feathers. Like it's like thought put into the adaptations they would evolve into based on where they're living. I think that's so much fun. Yuck, that's a Turkin. I'm not like watch the playthrough. I don't like Turkin. Never will. Gyarks are quite these. I forget what they're called, but I'm obsessed with these guys. They look like the Pokemon Lantern a bit. This one looks a bit like the Pokemon Luminion. Both Pokemon that I was really am actively quite upset. Armu and Quarmu. Armu and Quarmu. Probably some of my favorites. I don't remember these guys, but they're good enough. We've got some. What they had a word for the machines. They didn't call them machines. They called them Levnises. Levni. These were Levnises. So we've got a bunch of the Levnis kind of enemies. Oh my god, these ones. These rolly ones on the fucking, like a Spiro BB-8 kind of Levnises. There were a lot of these in the game. I do remember them. I have no positive or negative feelings toward them. They absolutely fucking bodied me quite a few times. And these books aren't doing justice like to the scale of some of these Levnises. Some of these are like bigger than skyscrapers, much bigger than buildings. They were titans almost, like man-made titans of a sort at points. Especially these ones that the queens used. They've got the colonies because these worlds are set up into two main factions of the Kevis and the Agnes, which these kind of separated them out by Agnes and Kevis, if you didn't notice, but you probably didn't. I didn't point it out, and I don't know how much you can see. And within the colonies, or within the, what word did I just use? Sides of the war, you also have these individual colonies, but we have to go through these fast as well. Not fast, but you know, I'm not gonna fucking fly through the pages. It's a really pretty picture, that one. Colony 4 is where you kind of start the game, and it's no, Colony 9, maybe it's 4. All I know is it's a rough and tumble world. The game starts with this like shower scene, and it's like equal opportunity to see skin men and women, and I really appreciated it because I was madly in love, visually, lustfully, romantically, platonically in love with all these characters in so many ways. That's really pretty. I like that one. Looks almost like it's like falling apart. Maybe it is. Colony Sigma. I don't remember Colony Sigma too well, but I feel like it's one of the really important ones. Not that, every colony is not important, but some got more focus in the story. This is Kamaravi. If you'll remember, Kamaravi is the one that said love to fight. Him and the girl Ethel love to fight, and I said that watching them fight was like watching them fuck. That's Kamaravi's leftness. With what you would fight. But he could also fight mano a mano without a leftness. Don't get him twisted. Again, these designs kind of slip into Gundam-esque for me, so again, they don't fall too much within my like visual interest, but again, I do appreciate how beautiful they are. Especially the detailed work on these drawings. Not that 3D models aren't infinitely detailed, if not even more so than a drawing, but something about a static drawing with like, the perspective, you know, whereas a 3D model has to be ready for everything, so it can't be as focused, I think. Then we just have some scene areas, and I don't know how well you can see it, and I don't know what to tell you. I could have recorded this video in 4K, and I said, nah, 1080p is fine. 4K would have made it easier for you guys to see more, so maybe in the future I'll do that. I think with this video in general, I'm going to be listening to it back, watching it back. A motorcycle just drove by, and I'm sorry if you heard it, but, or it's still actively driving by. With this video specifically, I'm going to be watching it back and seeing what I would like to do different with another one of them. God, these are beautiful. The world in this game, not only being like really rich in concept and like story, is like visually not just really cool looking, but like it's you don't learn this till quite a bit later in the game, but it is a collision of the worlds of the first and second game, and the way that they morph these things together without ever feeling reductive of either one, while still feeling completely new, but creatively being blent, LOL, BLE together. I just think it's really beautiful and quite the feat in this picture. I would like to hang that up, actually. I like the colors of it. Ooh, I really like the colors of that one. These are beautiful. Wow. Again, I've never looked at this book. These are really pretty. And I have books for Xenoblade 1 and 2 that I've lightly flipped through. They probably have similar things like this. Maybe we'll go through them sometime, but the next time I record one of these, I've got to find a way to sit more comfortably, though. I won't explain what I'm doing, but it is not comfortable. Whoa, the colors of that as well. I know using like rainbow pastel gradients is like tale as old as time to make the people happy. It's like the junk food of art, but it's also like really good. I don't know. It gets me. Whoa. I said this in my playthrough of this game, and I've said this in every playthrough I've ever played just about of any game. Edges of worlds terrify me. It's just something about a finite edge of a world, and I feel like in video games a lot you can really run into that and see it. Terrifies me. And water in video games as well absolutely terrifies me. So this is like, and it terrifies me in a way that like it's like beautiful, kind of like an apocalypse almost. But I'll bring this one up for you so you can look at it. That one's really cool, but it does have me absolutely spooked. Like looking at it doesn't spook me, but in the game being at that edge is like, even though I know that there is no so many Zelda posters in my room, and I love them, but I wouldn't mind having a bunch of like Xenoblade art posters. I bet that we don't have bigger prints of these than we do in this book, which is like lame. I would like a nice, higher quality print, but things are what they. Oh my god. What was this? I don't remember what this place was called. Because this looks like a Xenoblade 2 place. I don't remember this being in Xenoblade 3. This is where the opening cutscene is. That as well. If there's any nerds that fucking watch this, isn't this just in Xenoblade 2? I don't think it showed up in 3, not even in the DLC. But I've been wrong before, I'll say that much. And I do trust the people that put this book together to know more about the game than I do, but I could swear. I like that noise. Whoa, there's like a hospital bed almost right there. I'll bring that up so you can see. That's definitely from something from what we call in the game, or what they call in the game. I'm not contained within the game, believe it or not. Though I was captured by its charming beauty, but a place called This City, that's definitely in this city. The DLC of this game actually is called Future Redeemed. We won't cover it too much because it's not mentioned in this book, but it set me, and again, watch my playthrough, I mentioned this, it set me on my need to breed phase, I call it, where I was obsessed with having a kid, which I stopped wanting to have kids like a while back, like years back, and I was like, whoa, where is this coming from? And so then I was just like, I don't know what nice way to say I was a swinging cock all around town for a bit, and I knew I wasn't going to make a kid just, I'm not going to be crude, but just based on where the seeds were being planted, I was like, I don't think these are going to sprout, but I don't know, it awoken something in me. And then during that time period, my dad, I went out to the steakhouse with him, and he said, you'd be a good father, and I said, oh my god, my time has come. And that was an awkward laugh, I apologize. I have a very loud laugh, quite explosive, trying not to let that out. Mio uses these rings, and I think they're really, weapon-wise, quite unique. And I guess, every weapon's quite unique. They're crafted to really represent the characters that wield them, but I don't know, a staff, a sword, these rings are really, I think, not just unique within the game, but unique within the genre. And I don't know a lot, but I feel like you don't see ring type things a lot. But maybe I'm really wrong. Yell at me. If I remember correctly, this is Senna. Senna uses this hammer-like thing. Which, why didn't we see her? We see these two. We see Uni. Whereas Senna and Lance, she doesn't use the hammer, does she? No, she uses that staff. Oh, I don't remember whose those are, but she was a bad bitch. Kamaravi. We got page 202, isn't that something? Whoa, I don't remember a bow either. That's really pretty. I do love a bow. Can't say I'm super turned on by weapons like some of you fucking psychopaths, but I do really like that bow. Ouroboros still in that Guernica. That Guernica kind of unloaded on us. I don't know a better word. He activated it upon us so as to give us the Ouroboros powers that again set off the game. Mio's diary, quite central to the story, believe it or not. Some tents. We've got some storage containers, and we've got a person there for scale, which I appreciate them showing the scale. We've got little fucking incubators. Because this game is fucked up in a lot of ways. We've got a circus tent, basically. Got some luggage containers. These tents are cool. Those are pretty. We got some military stuff. This ship, I believe it's one of the city ships. This thing can fucking wreck some havoc. And luckily it's doing it for good, but man, that thing works hard. But maybe that's not what I think it is. I don't know. I could be very wrong now that I think about it. Let's not think too much. Because you can't be wrong if you don't think. Did you know that? Legal. Ooh. I don't remember this, but I like it. It's pretty. It reminds me of like the life tree from Xenoblade 2, but not too much. This reminds me a lot of personal terminals from the Mega Man Battle Network series. This is a really pretty picture of Van Damme, Guernica, if you would, and seems like some city dweller. I like the watercolor art style of it. Shells, just again, I got the Nopon right there. A few more things. It's quite a fleshed out world if I do say so myself. I don't know why, but the blue raspberry lobster is looks kind of delicious. Oh, look at these. I'll bring these up to you, but look at these fucking maybe they're rice balls or dongos or something, but they look like Nopon. That's really pretty. Well, not really pretty. It's really cute. They're all really. There's a decent focus on food in this game, and actually, I didn't notice this until it was patched out and they told me, but when this game first came out for a while, because all the food you would cook, they all had different effects, and you would make them for different purposes and for the effects that they would give you. Apparently the food just didn't work. None of the effects were actually happening. So they had to patch it later and be like, now they work, which that's fine, all fine and good, but I really was over here being like, yum, I'm making this so I can get stat boosts. And Manana, who would make the food, the pink Nopon, was lying to all of us, but they fixed it. It's quite phallic, isn't it? You make gems, you craft gems with that, I believe. I got some seed, some gourd type things. Looks almost like a geode over here. Got half a Noah's body. Storyboards, oh boy. I would love to explain these scenes all in depth to you, but that'd be silly. I don't know how much of these you guys are going to be able to see clearly, because I didn't record in 4K. And even if I did, who's watching this on a 4K screen? Ain't nobody. Just kind of flipping through these ones. Not too much to see for us. And then here it says, very specifically, has this tape, has these really pretty constellations. I'm a big star bitch, and I love a constellation. This section contains images that may spoil elements of the game's story. Continue at your own risk. Then we got some French here, which, as I mentioned earlier, I'm American, so I think we're legally not allowed to like the French, which is kind of fucked up, because they gave us that deal, fucking Louisiana Purchase. They gave us the Statue of Liberty. Why are we so hostile toward them? I don't know, but we got spoilers up ahead. Revelations, if you would. Odd Queens. So this one, they're actually animatronics, believe it or not, based on Melia, and Melia is in the game. Just most of the time when we think we're seeing her, we're seeing the animatronic artificial one. Beneath the Mask, if you would, Persona 5. Oh god, what a game. Quite beautiful. And she's from Xenoblade 1. And she was a bit younger, so seeing her a bit more aged and mature was really cool. And then Mio from Xenoblade 2, because if you remember, this is Xenoblade 3. She's from Xenoblade 2. Also a bit more like mature in this game, which I like to see. I like grown adults. We don't get enough grown adults in video games, much less of the like anime kind of style and persuasion. Console M, which is like another form of Mio, if you can't tell by the look. Console N, who another form of Noah, who he is tragic. He also, in some fucked up way, I think is a good guy, and I can't figure it out. But he's the main antagonist as well. And look, his hair is even longer than Noah's, and he's got these like really beautiful bangs. And I think I might love him more than Noah because I think he needs me more than Noah. But also the way we love people shouldn't be based on how much value we think we can provide them. And also that's quite a narcissistic thing to think I can provide value to anybody. So I'll have to work on that on my own. But you can tell he kind of went nuts. And I don't blame the guy, he's really been through it. But to be fair, he put himself through it. But you don't really know what you're getting yourself into when you do just about anything. So you live, you learn, and you live forever, because he promised himself to a forever that was torturous. They're pretty. A bit dark if you can see them, but they're really pretty. These like inside the cap. Oh god. Yeah, I can't explain it in any short way that would make sense, but basically one of the characters, Zed, if you'll remember, ended up being Origin, which is the origin of the world they're all in, but it's also like kind of like the nucleus of this world in a weird fucked up way. And that's a picture of him being exposed as Origin. The clothes on this, which all the people, it looked like tattooed on them, but it was like naturally occurring. Everybody had this on them, and based on how much red was left in it, you could tell the age of a character, because they only got 10 terms. They called them terms, not years, but about 10 years to live, so it's quite nice. I like this dark blue of this page instead of just a black. Thoughtful. And then we have, again, the main characters. I like this side better than this side, as you can imagine. But I do like the solid fucking squares and colors of both. And with that, that's really all that came with this, I believe. Yeah. It's really just the book, the game, the steelbook. But with that, I'm gonna get my ass to bed. I'm very excited to sit in a more comfortable way and to see what I did wrong in recording this. But have a good night, have a good morning, have a good whatever. I feel like watching ASMR in the middle of the day. Instead of doing that, you should go to therapy. But hey, therapy can be inaccessible to some people, and there is sliding scale therapy where they do look at your income and they adjust the cost and the pricing for that. But I'm gonna leave y'all alone. But yeah, I really love this game. Probably one of my favorite games. Well, definitely one of my favorite games of all time. I've never in my life, because I struggle to identify with characters in media in general, music, art. I'm sorry, art's quite vague. All media just about is art. I struggle to what's the word? Identify, relate with characters in TV shows. I don't watch TV shows and movies for that reason. I don't read books. Even in video games, I love a lot of characters. I don't always relate to them. I really, really, in a lot of ways, related to his tragedy. And I love him for that. Love the game. Have a good night.